Attention, bobsled riders! You will soon be embarking on a thrilling podcast down the icy slopes of the Matterhorn. So please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the bobsled at all times. Auf Wiedersehen!
Hello, Yodler. How do we do this again? I'm just joking. Hello, Yodelers. We are the Matterhorn Yodelers. I am your host today, G5th, with
Jackie.
and
Secrets.
Oh, old Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
That was
Conan.
Was that Conan?
Mm-hmm.
Secrets. Oh, yeah.
That was Conan.
That was Conan.
I just remember him doing it with John McCain. That was kind of fun.
Yes.
Ooh, I dated myself to a 2008 presidential candidate.
Right.
All right, so what brings us here today are urban legends. I know we've done these before, and we did some research, and I think we're just like gonna finish them off.
There was a lot
A
of
lot
little
of
ones.
little ones.
And so
Yeah.
it's hard to do a deep dive on some of them. And so
There's just no information on them, and
Right.
Disney does deny things that
Oh,
are
they
not
do.
true. Where I'm like, no, that's not true.
right.
So
Like they
have fake ones too. I think employees have kept ones up, and it's just kind of accepted, but there's no proof to it.
Oh yeah.
So, does anybody want to start? And we say like urban legends, like what ones we've done in the past. We've done the hearse at the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
It's not Brigham Young's.
We did Walt's frozen
Frozen head. Yeah.
Yes,
body.
yeah, body. It's not underneath Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right.
It's not in Chandler, next to Ted Williams. And then there were the bugs. Like right.
Oh, how they get where are the mosquitoes?
The
in
mosquitoes
Oh,
are
yeah.
managed.
The chickens.
Yeah, there's chickens on Disney property. So there's those. We have 2 of those episodes in the past, but we're just gonna like run through some of them, and we'll go through it.
Yeah.
So I'll start with the Haunted Mansion, the good stuff. So there's a rumor out there, a legend, that the Haunted Mansion, there was a heart attack during the first preview of the attraction. I guess had a heart attack, and that's why they had to close it down for a period of time. And this resulted in like the delays. That's not true.
Did it close down?
It was like it just took so long
yeah.
because Walt announced it while he was alive, and it didn't come out till
It just wasn't built.
it wasn't
Right.
ready yet.
Nope.
And it was because it was too scary.
Nope.
So there's zero truth to that.
Yeah.
The history behind the Haunted Mansion is a long history that dates back pre-Disneyland.
Was
so.
it the Crumb guy?
Rolly,
Yeah.
Was it
Rolly
him?
Crumb?
No, it was somebody else. I did his window.
He did his window. I can't remember his
I don't
name.
remember which one it was though, but yeah, he worked
A
on it.
lot of the original cast members or Imagineers worked on Haunted Mansion
Oh,
at
yeah.
one point.
It was the project to do. If you're not in, you're like somewhere else.
Well, it was like everyone was
You're
given
doing Pinocchio.
everyone was given the responsibility of handling the Haunted Mansion, and nobody could do it, so they just kept cycling through Imagineers
Yeah.
like, you give it a shot, and you give it a shot.
So yeah, I will continue with the Haunted Mansion. We have ashes. Apparently Disney's statement is it doesn't happen with or without Disney's permission, and that is completely false. People
Oh, yeah.
are dumping ashes. I've
All
been
the time.
there,
All the time.
and when I worked there, I experienced it 3 times, and once it's reported and it's been verified, they shut the ride down. They cycle the guest out. Because it's a health issue.
Yep.
You breathe that
Yeah.
in, and you're not supposed to get like bone fragment like
In your lungs.
particles in your lungs. It's just bad. You're not supposed
Oh,
to
yeah.
have that stuff, and so that's why they don't, they don't leave it there. People think that it's dirty all the time for a reason, and that's kind of the next urban legend, is that they don't have to clean up, and that's not true.
That's
Those cobwebs
pointless.
are
Yeah.
not real. They have a team that comes in like every 6 months to a year, I believe, that come in, they put new cobwebs, because I remember the cast members there was like, oh, I don't like this, what they did with this here, and like they'll make comments. So the Haunted Mansion is cleaned. believe me, I did the walkthrough, and I would clean up 3 or 4 diapers that people would change and leave
That's
on the
awful.
ride. Yes. The only thing they don't clean is the spit wall next to the ballroom. So if you're ever evacuating, don't touch the walls. That is the grossest thing ever. It's grosser than little kids that lick the queue line chain. Like, you think of that and you're like, oh gosh, no. Worse. Much worse.
Oh, I remember you mentioned that when we were being evac'd on Pinocchio. Just don't touch anything. We turn the walls on, the lights are on, and I was all like, oh my gosh, these walls are gross. Ugh.
So yes,
Yeah.
advice: when you get evacuated from ride, it's exciting. It is so
Yeah.
cool. They turn on the lights and you see kind of like behind the scenes. The magic is it's broken, especially the Haunted Mansion. There's so much color that you do not see. That's there, especially in like the music room. I always loved walking through
Peter
that.
Pan was fun. I did Peter Pan.
I never did Peter Pan.
I did Alice in Wonderland at Disneyland. That was
We
fun.
did that. I was there with
Yeah,
that one.
yeah,
And the Pinocchio one we did together.
yeah.
Did
Yeah.
the Great Movie Ride. It's nothing special because you walk through everything. You're already riding through everything.
Right. No, Peter Pan, they got a ladder. We walked down the ladder, and then we walked through the London scene through the bedroom. And
How cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so ashes those are definitely cleaned up. I thought the official statement was that they have a special vacuum. I've heard they don't have a special vacuum and they properly dispose it. But Disney does say that it is a misdemeanor for health and safety code reasons. So it's
Don't
not a
do
felony.
Don't do it.
But just don't do it. It ruins the experience, and like no one wants
It's
to
gross,
breathe
though.
in your grandparents.
Just expect that your loved one will be sucked up in a vacuum cleaner and thrown in the trash.
Yeah.
It's not going to be this treasured thing like ashes are with
You
at,
can
at Disneyland
you can
forever.
pretend
No.
to do the ashes, but don't actually
You
do
can
the
say that their
ashes.
spirit is there,
Yeah.
but don't put their ashes there.
It's better to flick a booger and try to get it on the wall than try. You're getting more luck keeping something stuck there that way. But it's clean. Disney, and yeah, it's clean. Another one I have for Disney or for Haunted Mansion is there's a World War I pilot that died at Bay Lake, and he haunts the Haunted Mansion between the unload and load area at Haunted Mansion. That's not true. I've never seen anybody like people have said they've seen
What's it?
something.
You can tell us what's it like in between the load and unload section.
It's like
of the
this
Haunted
small
Mansion?
little like noodle turn. You're just like you're in and out. It's just there's
right
nothing
there.
there. You can talk to one another when nobody's there between load and unload. If you really want it, it's on the other side of that wall is the unload area when you're in the load area. So
Oh, okay.
so it's so close. I mean, Disney, you think there's like all this space. No,
Can
they
you ride
maximize.
in the
You
vehicle?
do. Yeah, you could do like you just continue through. Like when we do a ride through in the morning, we would just ride through, go through unload, and then get off where we got on. I mean, it's an Omni mover, so it's
Yeah.
interconnected, and so that's where the ghost is. It's like 10 feet where this ghost hides out, and people have seen. I've never been scared in the Haunted Mansion. I never got the heebie-jeebies. The only time I ever got a heebie-jeebie was at Mission Space.
Yeah.
And like it was a weird feeling. And I remember one of the girls there was like having the same feeling too. It was like something's wrong, and it was Bay 3. So yeah, and I there is a story about a pilot, but it was a World War II pilot where a plane went down. So there's a training that did happen in that area. And the plane did crash in a state park just north of the park. And I've been there, and that was the only thing I could really find to really confirm. Like one World War I, like it just there was
Right.
nothing out there to where they would
Be flying over Central Florida.
It's just a swampland. That's what it was. And so
Yeah.
it just seems like that's a little weird. But you know, people, they make up things. Dads coming up with stories and cues. You know,
Oh, just and distract the kids.
And somebody goes, I heard this too. And then it's a telephone game.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
heard there was a Civil War balloonist that there was the Civil War fight in the orange groves of Florida. It was bigger than Gettysburg. It was never written down.
Wait,
because
tell me about these
everyone
balloons.
died.
Were they aliens?
No. They were Chinese spy planes. They were so scared during the Ming
Right.
dynasty, during Mulan. You know,
It's going to be a reference that will date this episode quite a bit.
Yeah.
it's the craze right now.
Chinese alien balloons.
I also have another haunted mansion. This is Disneyland. That there's a secret entrance at Disneyland Haunted Mansion, and it's true.
Yeah,
There's a secret
I
entrance.
went through it.
And it's this came about because of COVID.
Oh yeah, it's like the maids' quarters, or
It's the servants' quarters.
yes.
That it allows them to bypass the
Stretch room.
stretch rooms, because, as you know, in Disneyland they go down so that you walk underneath the railroad in order to get to the ride. Sorry, I'm ruining it. The ride isn't in the house.
I think we've said this before.
I'm just, we have new people, and so
That's
it's
true.
fair. Like we've talked about Ashes before, and
Yeah.
and so I think it's just fair enough to, talk about it again for new people. I do appreciate those who, listen out all the time. Brian, I know you listen. Doing a little shout out for
Shout
you.
out.
But yes, there is a secret entrance. It's by the graveyard, the headstones, and servants' court. It's not something you can just go into yourself.
No.
You have to be invited
Yes.
in order to do so. And sometimes they do that for people that cannot go into the stretch room, and allows them to bypass those
Like it was like
spaces. So we have that at Disney World.
because like at during COVID, they kind of gave people the option to you can wait in the queue if you want to do the stretch room, or you can just bypass the stretch room and go the other way. And we're like, "Hey, let's pass it. Let's get on the ride. Let's go. Like, let's not," because at the time they were only letting in like 10 people in the stretch room at a time.
And
so
that just prolongs the line. And people just want to get on and go. They want
Right.
to just get that Grim Grinning Ghost.
Yeah.
All right, I've got another Haunted Mansion one. Walt's face is on one of the singing bus in the
Yes.
graveyard. It's a guy with a pencil-thin mustache. That's not him. That's Tony the
No.
Tiger. They're great. It's not
Or-
Walt.
He's a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Yes, he's got that famous voice that everyone knows with their Frosted Flakes. And then, so that's, it's not true. It's not Walt. And Walt wasn't there when it opened, so that's what I've got for Haunted Mansion. What do you guys got going for your urban legends?
So I've got, we talked about turkey legs before. So there
The
was
ostrich eggs?
Yeah,
Oh,
there-
no, emu legs. That's
Yeah.
Emo
right.
Lex,
Yes.
is that the urban
There's
legend?
a rumor that the
Rumor
turkey
has it.
legs, are made out of emu meats. And
That's a lot of emos that have to die for turkey leg knockoffs.
And how this rumor got started was Zachary Levi was on
It was in Conan, yeah.
Oh, it was Conan.
O'Brien. So, and he said that he had a friend claimed, because his friend worked at Disneyland and told him that they were emu legs.
I think before then I had heard that rumor.
I
Oh, yeah?
never heard that.
I remember hearing that rumor before the Zachary Levi thing when it went public, I guess you could say. I knew it when it was just an internet thing.
Yeah. That's clearly false.
Emu legs are quite large.
These are baby emos. It makes it so much better.
Oh.
They're like, Mama! And you're like, off to the Disney parks for you.
Oh. Yeah. Not
They
great.
hatch them backstage.
Get the CPs. I did not sign up for this.
How do you feel about custodial? Never. Anything else? Okay.
All right.
Clubbing baby emos for
my
turkey legs.
God. Oh. What a weird.
Why do these
shirt.
turkeys have long necks? Oh, these are special Disney kind. I love that one.
Another popular one was that Toy Story characters will fall down when if you say Andy's coming.
It happened once.
It happened once. It blew up the internet, and Disney put a quick stop to
They're
that.
like, no.
We can't have that.
Yeah.
And now the toys just look at you like you're a loser.
They do.
Yeah.
And they hate you.
Well,
for
the
doing
character attendants will be like, "Oh, but Bonnie is their like."
Bonnie's there and she's at school. So
Yeah.
get up. Get off the floor.
Yeah,
Get
my
on
girl.
my line.
So don't ever say Andy's coming or Bonnie's coming. You're just gonna make the cast members upset. So
They won't indulge. It
Like,
happened
you-
once and it
you-
was cute.
You can
and
see the videos now of their reaction. They look at you like, no.
no.
They shake their heads. They're
And,
like,
I mean, I don't
It's like a
blame them.
sassy 2-year-old. It's like, no. Time to go to bed. Not
No.
happening.
Mm-mm.
I don't get paid enough.
Do you want to go, Peter, or you want to wait till the end?
I'll
for
wait
yours?
for the end for me.
Okay.
Because mine's kind of different than
Yeah.
yours.
All right, I've got guest once saw in Small World a body hanging from the rafters.
That came from like the Wizard of Oz like rumor.
But this came from guests, and apparently, as a result, they actually closed down the ride to investigate. Because, what would you do? I mean, I shut down a ride because of a smelly fart. No, I was at the Tiki Room. So background for a smelly fart story.
You shut down the tiki room for a
Oh
fart.
man, I farted so bad. I'm like, oh, gas leak! Oh no! Not today, Jose.
Rosita.
When all the birds came in, they all fell down. That's how Iago died. I ripped one. So no, I used to work at the Tiki Room. That's where this reference is coming from. Okay, so what happened was there's gas, torches and stuff, and so I smelt gas because the torches weren't working at the time, and so when you smell that gas,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to be the one that let people die getting blown up, because you never know when a guest is like, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette in
That's
line,
true.
because it happens all the time. And I think we were near the smoking area too, and I didn't want to take any risk. But I remember I just dumped the queue. Thankfully, the show had just ended. So I opened the doors and I had people go like, sorry, we're experiencing technical difficulties. The birds won't wake up, blah, 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 blah. They left, and my managers were in the same building pretty much. That's where the management was for ad lib. And they're like, what's going on? Why did you dump Q? It's not like I dumped Q at like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
or something.
it's Tiki Room.
Tiki Room.
All 12 people left the queue, and we all
This is gonna affect
And I
our
told-
ride count for the other day.
right, yeah, or okay. So I dumped, and they're just like, they came there and like, I don't really smell anything. I was like, well, I smelled that natural gas thing, that kind of that sulfur smell, and they're just like, well, I guess you did the right thing. But in their mind, like, since there wasn't anything there for them, they were kind of like, oh, you're throwing things up. They're kind of sassy about it. And I'm like, well, next time I won't do it. It's like, no, don't do it. And I was like, okay. Like, I kind of just,
You're like safety first.
I'm with safety first, unless it's Christmas time. That's the fourth key. Efficiency.
Right.
So, okay, back to Small World. Apparently, they saw it, and this is false. There's no body that was hanging on there, but there are things that are stored up there. So maybe it was something that was hanging that was stored that people shouldn't have seen, but there was no suicided, person hanging from the rafters of Small World.
There's just that really sad character that's up in one of the balloons that looks down at you really sad.
Help me.
Right.
Um,
That's what happens when you shoplift.
Another one is the Skyway, the buckets. They went away because someone died.
Oh, on the Matterhorn, the Disneyland Skyway. Yeah.
and that's not true.
No.
It was falling apart, and
It was
Disney's
on its
like,
way
it's
out.
not worth the money to invest in it.
People were
Um,
getting stuck on it.
People are getting stuck. I mean, we knew somebody that
Mm-hmm.
got stuck. The Clarks, they got stuck on it. It was like their one time they went and they got stuck all day in there.
Yeah.
So, but someone did die in there, and it was because a custodial person was cleaning, and
Yes.
this is before the lock system where
That was at Disney. This one's at Disney World. The one
This
that
is
you're
at Disney
sharing.
World, yeah.
This one you're sharing is at Disney World with the custodial.
with the custodial, and this has been an issue at Disney where maintenance or custodial doesn't lock out, and a cast member initiates the ride system and runs it. And apparently, this person tried to climb into the bucket but couldn't make it and was hanging and then fell to their death.
Oh,
And so that is true that someone has died as a result of this, but it's not a guess from jumping. And we did discuss in our Disney law book. What was it called again?
The People versus Disneyland.
Yes, fun episode if you want to get to
Yeah.
like the dirt of like people suing Disney and the results of it. Love that book and love the discussion we had on it. But there was a guy that jumped from there and landed in a tree.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, he tried to sue them, and nice try.
Yeah.
Well,
You jumped.
and the story with the Disneyland closing one was some kids did jump out into the Matterhorn.
Oh, really?
Yes, and so they had to shut the ride down, and it was actually scheduled to close permanently the next week. And so they just decided, you know what,
We're done.
we're done, and they just shut it down then
And they do that.
because there was nothing that they could do to prevent that from happening again.
Yeah, once the word gets out.
And it was only going to be a week away, and so it's like, you know what, nope, we're just going to shut it down.
And there's those cast members that love to be there for the last ride through,
Yep.
and you could tell that they're probably crying. Go away. What else do I got? Oh, Cinderella's Castle. It's modular and breaks down.
Yeah, I have that one.
You want to do that? You wanna-
It's not much, but it's just like there's a rumor that, in case of a hurricane, they can take down the Cinderella castle. That is,
Which honestly would probably be worse.
yeah,
Oh, because it would fall apart
it
over
would fall
time.
apart.
Well, not
Just
only
putting
that,
it back
so
together
you got to
and
think about it. So like the castle is a solid structure, right? Now you're
Is
taking it apart into pieces. These tall spires during a hurricane
Or before, right?
or before a hurricane, and a hurricane comes. What do you think is going to happen with these pieces that are not as heavy as the rest of the building? You've got these
You got-
missiles.
There's a reason why there are no fences or fence lines in Florida, because it becomes flying objects.
Yes.
I
It's
mean,
like open.
I get the rumor because there's always cranes by the Cinderella castle.
And it takes those cranes are broken down too, and you just can't have cranes hanging out like
Yeah.
we're ready for the season. Like,
Right.
I was there for 3 years. I didn't see it any. I wasn't there for any hurricanes. We had one that was like hanging out, but didn't like happen. No, that's not true.
Nope.
It's not modular.
Let's see here. There's a clock in Cinderella's castle that has stopped working, and they say it's set to the time that Walt Disney died.
Rrr.
It is false. So the clock stopped working.
Because
ni-
Disney didn't pay the maintenance bill
yeah,
for it.
1996 is when it stopped working. Due to an installation. There we go. And it was just permanently frozen, and it's changed. Apparently, it's like changed over time, like the time. But there's no purpose of the time that it's stuck on.
It's just cast members being goofy.
Yeah.
Like, who changed it to here?
Yeah, we do that kind of stuff.
We do.
We make up things.
Well, because that became a thing at the Tower of Terror. Because like when you enter in Florida, you walk, you're in the lobby, and right where you're at the point of merge where Fast Pass and Standby merge, and you're about to go into the library, there's a directory on the wall that's, it has like the ballroom and different rooms listed on the directory. with missing letters, and at the bottom it said "You are doomed," with some of the missing letters.
Oh yeah. I remember that in the little window.
And that went viral because it was on television specials and things like that.
it was cast member
That
driven,
was
right?
cast members that did that. And
Sorry,
when,
Imagineers,
and then when it hit like the Travel Channel or whatever, they got rid of it.
because the Imagineers hate
Oh yeah.
when things are put there by cast members. That it's like,
So-
nope, that's not supposed to be there.
So I remember when I was working there were so many like guests being like, "Oh, let's look," and it was never there. It was all like
You should have
it
wrote
looked
like,
dirty
haha,
and-
made you look.
So
I've got the Walt signature. I heard it's somebody wrote it's like it's not Walt's actual signature.
it's not.
It's not. So
It's like his secretary's signature.
it's pretty, and his signature is similar, but it's not. It's more condensed. It's
Right.
not so wide. But he was swirly with his signature.
Okay, I've got one. This is my last one. So I think we've all heard this rumor of Johnny Depp.
He's got amazing memory. Oh, is that not what we're
No,
talking about?
he
Oh, okay.
he actually gets his his lines are fed to him through an earpiece.
But there's rumors that Johnny Depp will dress up as Jack Sparrow in the Disney parks to interact with guests.
It's happened.
He did it
And
once.
he did it once for a promotion for Pirates of the Caribbean movie. It has not happened since then. There was a recently actually a viral video of this person like absolutely convinced she met Johnny Depp. It was clearly not Johnny Depp, partially because the actor that was doing Johnny Depp looked very good, but looked young, like when the first the Pirates of the Caribbean movie came out, not to the recent Johnny Depp of how he looks today.
Yeah, we were right by the Pirate Cove, and they had the Johnny Depp show, or not the Jack Sparrow show, and you'd see him walk in and out, and like they're very good. They have those sharp kind of features that Johnny Depp has, but it's not him.
Yeah.
It's also not the first time he's done something like that in the park. He also did it for Alice in Wonderland. He had an interactive poster where guests would come up to, his Alice in Wonderland Mad Hatter face. It was a digital.
I hate that portrayal.
It was a digital billboard, so it was kind of moving, and he's all like looking around, and then he would actually start talking with the guest as he's staring at them at his poster.
Did we talk about what I thought about him in that role? How I think he looks like Elijah Wood.
Yeah, you mentioned.
Yeah.
If you want more on that, listen to the previous podcast.
I don't remember which one, but yeah, you got to listen to them all to find it.
It was just the
go
one we
back.
talk about, the reimagined, Disney cartoon
Oh,
animation,
the live action ones.
the live
yeah.
action ones, yeah. Where I was just like, I hate it. I hate him in that. Yeah. What else you got?
That was my last one.
That was your last one. What do you got, Peter?
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, so I went a little different direction than you guys did. Because I kind of figured these kind of also lie with... These aren't Disney parks. I actually went movies. Because there wasn't too many of these things related to the theme parks. And the ones that I saw, I was like, no, that's not what that is. They're called Mandela effects. You guys know what Mandela effects are?
No, I don't.
So a Mandela effect is when everybody thinks...
Oh, what they said, but it's
right,
not what they said.
But it's not what
Oh
they
yeah,
said.
there's a ton
So
of them.
this will
There's
be
the
kind
Star
of,
Wars one. I imagine you're going to talk about that.
there's a few in Star
There's
Wars.
Aladdin.
All right. So, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the evil queen. She speaks to the magic mirror. What's the line she uses to speak to the magic mirror?
What was it? Mirror, mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest one of them all? No.
That's not the line.
Oh, it's not. Oh, okay.
I don't know.
It's magic mirror on the wall.
Okay,
That's
Oh.
it. It's not mirror, mirror. It's magic mirror on the wall.
that makes sense. Magic mirror.
Okay.
But you're right. Everyone assumes that it's a
Mirror,
mirror,
mirror
On the wall. Yeah.
Everyone always makes that joke about like, Why didn't she just like she could make herself into this evil queen that's all ugly? Why couldn't she just make herself more fairer? Why did she have to kill Snow White?
Right. Correct. Magic can only make you uglier. That's the only conclusion I could come up with. Magic only makes you uglier than
Yeah,
you can't make
maybe.
you better.
Like, oh, come on, look at the one Aladdin. He turned a street rat into a prince. One bona fide prince coming up. You know, like
But Jasmine didn't like the prince. She liked the street rat.
well, it's because she'd already met the street rat.
So, all right. So the next one I have, Sword in the Stone. Okay. Picture it in your head. The Sword in the Stone. What does it look like?
It's a sword and like a stone.
In a stone, yes.
It's not.
It's in a rock, or
Nope. It's not in a rock.
Is it an anvil?
It's in an anvil.
Well, that's the one at Disneyland. I think it's in a rock in the movie, isn't it?
It's in an anvil. And even make a point to say, whosoever pulled this sword in the stone in the anvil, like they even include anvil in the description of the prophecy. Like, so like it's an anvil in the movie.
Oh,
But a lot of
yeah,
people
I
assume
kind of
it's a
remember
stone.
that.
So
Do you think they wrote the etching? Was the etching part of the magic of the sword appearing in there, or was it etched in afterwards?
I don't know.
good question.
I'm just
not
curious
sure.
because it's part of like the mystique of like
Right.
the gods have, or the god has created this sword in the stone, and now it's here,
Right.
and therefore their next person is king who pulls it out, and it's like some guy that was like drunk one night and he just stabbed the sword in there. And he's just keeping his mouth shut. He's like, I guess I created the next king.
All right. Mickey Mouse. Does Mickey have a tail?
He did.
Yeah, he did have a tail.
Did he?
He had a tail when he was first created, and now he doesn't.
He still does.
He still does.
Yeah.
Just not in the park.
It's in his diaper. He
Yeah.
wears his red
It's
diaper.
only in the theme parks where you don't see his tail, but in every animated...
He does have tails.
He has
Yeah.
tails.
When he's wearing his black coat, he's got little tails.
Oh.
Dead jokes over here.
All right, this one I think you guys will get, but I understand where this confusion might be. What do the Seven Dwarfs sing at the beginning of the movie? What's their hi-ho song? How does it go?
It's like, hi ho.
Like,
I thought
what's
it's like
the
where you
chorus?
dig, dig, dig,
What's
dig.
what's the chorus for hi-ho?
What do you mean the
Hi
chorus?
ho. Hi
Oh, it's
ho.
off to work.
We're off to work we go.
Yeah,
Do, 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 do.
But they're not off to work.
they're getting off of work.
Ah,
I'm getting
It's
off.
home from work we go.
it's
Of
home.
Oh, yeah, we really butchered that one
Yeah.
as a society.
All right. Here's one. You got to picture this one in your mind. Jungle Book. Okay. We got
Which one?
the animated.
Okay.
Okay. The old animated, not the CGI animated one.
The Bill Murray is blue.
Right. No, not that one. So we got King Louie singing "I Want to Be Like You," right? And Baloo comes out. What's Baloo wearing?
He's wearing like a hula skirt
Mhm.
and a coconut bra.
No, he's
No?
got coconuts over his
Oh,
mouth.
it's his mouth. That's it.
That was the thing. People assumed he had remember him having a coconut bra.
Now the coconuts come over his
yeah.
mouth.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's go.
Hey, I got one.
You
Yeah.
did.
I wasn't tricked.
All right. Spell Spider-Man.
No, thank you.
Spiderman.
Wrong.
Okay.
There's a hyphen.
Dang hyphens. They're the worst. I say that I have a hyphenated name.
It's Spider hyphen Man.
Oh.
And it's even if you look at all the movie titles, the hyphen's always there.
I wish we had the one lady that does the Spider-Man song. Spider-Man.
Oh, I know.
Spider hyphen man. Spider hyphen man.
All right. Let's move on to some Star Wars. I've got three more. Three more.
You do
Okay.
the Tommy Boy one?
I'll save that one for the end
Okay.
because that's the most famous one.
Yeah.
All right. A New Hope. Luke, Han, Leia, Chewie. They jump down a garbage chute and land where? Where did they land in?
Garbage.
It lay in the garbage like water place. Yeah.
Yeah, and what happens in that room?
There's like
It's a
a-
compactor.
Right, garbage compactor. That's always been the assumed name of that scene. It's the garbage compactor scene, but that's not what they call it in the movie.
What do they call it?
Garbage masher.
Garbage.
Because if you listen to Luke Skywalker yelling at C-3PO, turn off all the garbage mashers on.
It must be a British thing.
It's garbage.
Oh, that could make
masher.
sense.
Yeah,
That's what I think it would be.
Garbage masher.
that's what they call that in the movie. So, but everyone calls it a garbage compactor, but it's a garbage masher.
Okay.
All right. Here's another one from A New Hope. Obi-Wan's lightsaber, when he dies, is it on or is it off?
It's off.
It's off.
He turns it off.
It's on. Before he dies. So like when he comes up and like he's in his pose, his lightsaber's up. Darth Vader hits, the lightsaber's still up, and then it cuts to his robe and his lightsaber's off as it hits the ground.
So
So-
what turns
So
it off? What
when-
turned it off?
He turns it off when he gets stabbed or cut.
He disappears. He doesn't
He
really get cut in
disappears.
Oh,
half.
that's true.
So his lightsaber was on when he gets sliced by Darth Vader, and then it's
No,
off
now
when
I
it
gotta
hits the
watch the
floor.
But how
movie.
does it turn off? That's always the debate.
That's the
like-
debate, right?
The Force.
Well, that's the joke. Like with lightsaber fights, wasn't somebody just like turn off someone's lightsaber before?
That's true.
That's like I'm losing.
All right.
You know, General Grievous, you just keep turning off his lightsabers. He keeps getting mad.
General Kenobi, stop it! Ah!
Bad form. Bad form.
You're breaking the code of Jedi.
Okay. Famous line from what is it?
Empire Strikes Back.
No, from what is it? I believe it's I think it's Attack of the Clones. Not
Number 2?
Maybe it's 3. It's the scene where they no, it's got to be Revenge of the Sith. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure it's Revenge of the Sith. Where they announce, oh yeah, it is. So this is when Palpatine comes out and says, "We are now a galactic empire," and then Padme says a very classic line.
And this is how democracy dies, or something like that.
Right? Everyone says it's democracy,
But it's the Republic.
no,
But that's what they are. They're a republic.
that's not what she says.
What did she say?
This is how liberty dies.
Oh, liberty.
Oh.
Does she say that?
She says liberty.
Whoa, that blows my
Okay.
mind right there.
Right. And then finally, the last one I have is probably the most famous Mandela effect.
Luke, I am your father.
Right, which is not what he says.
Yeah.
Do you know what he says?
No.
He's like,
No.
he goes, you killed my father.
He's
and
like,
he goes,
I am your father.
He goes, no, I am your father. He
Yeah.
says, no, I'm your father. Not Luke, I'm your father. He says, no, I am your father.
yeah. That one's circulated enough. like,
Yes.
on memes and stuff. Those were good. I like that.
Yeah.
Those were fun with the movies.
I figured that kind of
It
goes
breaks it up.
aligns
Yeah.
with urban legends because it's what people assume. And
All right,
Are
I'm gonna
wrong.
do some rapid fire.
okay,
These are true, so I believe. I highlighted them years ago, and I believe they're true. There's explicit writing in the sky in The Lion King with the leaves.
not true.
It was true.
No,
I seen.
I know what you saw,
I
but it's
saw-
not
You
what you
can't
saw.
can't tell me what my eyes saw. I know this is the one I was like, I knew Peter was gonna get mad about this one.
Because I
It's
think
up. It's up for debate.
'cause
It's one of those.
I remember when that first came up and I saw that you marked it as true, and I was all like,
I knew it got him mad, and I wanted to bring it up again to get him going.
no, it's just an
and
Easter
this
egg.
is all derived from because of Little Mermaid.
yes,
and what was depicted in that, so everyone thinks there's these dirty things, and
Honestly,
animators
there's only
do
like-
that kind of stuff.
there's only like one that really has credible evidence, and that's the Rescuers.
I've heard about that. But what you want to like share since you brought it up?
There's definitely like a picture of a naked woman in that movie.
Oh.
And that's repeated several times. So like they're taking off on, I forgot what the bird's name, because it changes between the two. I forget which one it is, but they're taking off, and like in the building, you see in the background there's a picture of like a topless woman. It's been hence edited out.
Yeah.
Once it's discovered, Disney cleans that up. So,
But yeah, it was there.
and like Little Mermaid, they cleaned up what was put in there as well.
The
Priest and
no,
then-
that's not true either.
I know
But
it's supposed to be his knees,
it's
but
his knees.
like
it looks like it, but it's his knees.
it's his knees in there. But like if you look at it one angle, you're like, what is that?
Right.
Okay, here's another one where Peter can debate. No, it's the Disney once had its own lingerie shop. It's true.
It's absolutely true.
We've talked about it before. There's a dead body at Disneyland. There were bones
Yeah.
on Pirates, and we discussed that in our first
Probably
Urban
our
Legend.
first one.
Yeah.
There's a ghost town at Walt Disney World. This is true. It's Discovery Island. It was a town that was completely abandoned.
I was gonna say Tom Sawyer's Island. Nobody goes over there anymore.
True.
It's Pirates Cove, all right? Disney character actors used to share underwear. This is true.
They're very true.
Ew.
So they get a stack of clothes, underwear, and like really bad, like very cheap cotton clothes that they wear in the costume. And every time they go on stage and come off, they change out of those and they clean up and they get new underwear that they wear. So this is true. A portion of Sleeping Beauty Castle was made backwards.
Sleeping. Yes, it
Yeah,
was.
it's true.
Yep, that is a 100% fact.
Walt also tried to create a ski resort in California.
Which is true. Which we
We talked
talked
about
about.
that.
I think
with
that was. I think
the
that
Country
was,
Bears. I brought that up because it was
And
originally
then-
Country
and I-
Bears.
And
We
I think
did a separate
I think on
unfinished
our-
projects or something.
No, I think it was on another Urban Legends, and that's the one I did a deep dive on. Was the history on Mineral King.
Yeah. There's a basketball court in Matterhorn.
There's a basketball hoop. in
Yeah.
Matterhorn.
And that one's been seen in documentaries. What else do we got? There was a dress code to enter in Disneyland. This is true.
Yep.
There is a dress code.
And there is still a dress code because you see people post some of the things like,
There's-
they
there's-
denied me. And it's like,
yeah.
well, that's pretty scandalous what you're trying to wear.
There's
but-
this trend on TikTok of like, oh, if I wear an inappropriate outfit,
free
I'll get
shirt.
a free T-shirt. That happened to like maybe one or two people.
Now
and
they just don't let you in the
now
park.
they
That's,
don't.
now that's bad people ruining a nice thing that Disney did.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
Because Disney was really generous. I mean, like, yeah, here, let's give you another shirt. Here you go. We're good.
I had one
And
lady.
then people just taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
I had one lady that lost her flip flops on the, Haunted Mansion, and it's just like you can't walk around barefoot.
Right.
And so we gave her a what is it called? A little Jiminy Cricket things, or the Pinocchio.
Right. Was it like As You Wish or something?
It was
I
like a
forgot what
little.
was.
It's like
I
a
forgot what it was.
pass. Like we write something on there as cast members.
Give a little whistle or something like that.
Yeah.
and it replaces it. It's free. So if you drop your popcorn, cast member gives you it, you
Yeah.
can go and redeem it for free popcorn. Well, we wrote one for this lady for flip flops, and she goes, "Oh, so I could have like blues my bad shoes, and you guys give me new ones for free." And we're like, "Well, we hope that people aren't abusing the system."
Yeah.
We're
We're trying to do something nice for you. You really trying?
You really
I could
want us
take
to
it-
stop
You want me
that?
to take this away from you? Is that what you're
right.
saying?
That's what it was. It
Okay.
was just like, oh, don't say things like that.
Right.
Trying to be good.
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Let's see. This one is fun. They controlled your mind through sense.
Which I think we talked about in our
The
first one.
senses or
Yeah, not true. Oh, it's not true, but it is kind of do pump smells. It's like me
it's,
complaining Burger King smells so
marketing.
good around because they're pumping that good smell out.
And then
Yeah.
you get that food and you look at it and you go, instant regret.
And then I
It's
go to the
like-
restroom and I
it's
go,
like
I
candy
definitely
nuts.
regret.
But what I don't regret is how good Barrows smells.
Oh, Barrows pizza. It's the taste for me that gets. Thanks for bringing up Barrows. They're such a yummy place. Let's go through some of these fast ones. Mickey Mouse was electrocuted after being thrown into the Seven Seas Lagoon. This is a rumor that goes with Grad Night. I've heard Donald Duck being thrown in there. There's nothing.
In Seven Seas Lagoon. That
Yeah.
seems like a weird place
Yeah.
for a character to be dumped.
Just, I'm breaking up with you. No, like they've been thrown in the moat. It's just,
No.
and I've heard this from other cast members. It's floated around. There's no story behind it. No one's come forward to claim it. Nothing at Disney. If it did happen, it would have happened in like the 70s or 60s. But I just think it's a rumor that spread from grad night to grad night.
Yeah.
What do we got? Disney cats. Cats are being released in Disney to capture rodents. They did do it on purpose,
There are cats in
but
the
they
park.
are there.
They
I've-
are there
I've
on
seen them.
purpose. They absolutely are there.
They
on
don't.
purpose.
Well, if you don't actively try to get them out, they're there on purpose.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of a byproduct. Like, we'll let you stay here for this, but they didn't like drop them off in the park to go hunting. They just
I
the
think
report
they
is
did
that
think they
at
it was.
first.
I think they
I
do.
heard the family of cats was already there
Maybe originally.
but now
There
I think-
are cats.
There are a lot of different types of cats that are all around. I've only seen the ones in California Adventure.
Yeah, I've seen them.
I
At
haven't seen
California.
any at Disneyland Park or any of the Florida parks.
when I worked at Haunted Mansion, they would hang out in the old Skyway building, so they were
Makes
there.
sense.
And I think I seen a cat
A
there.
nice, quiet, secluded place where guests aren't there. Now it's gone.
It's gone. It's a bathroom.
It's a bathroom.
It's a Rapunzel bathroom. A very nice bathroom, I'll say. Let's go on. Walt Disney is a Freemason. False. He never joined the Mason. What else we got? Marilyn Monroe was the inspiration for Tinkerbell. No.
False.
Everyone knows about the secret Club 33, but there's also a secret Club 21 near Pirates of the Caribbean.
False.
No.
The castle. Oh, we already did that one. The camel at Magic Carpets of Aladdin is controlled by people.
That's true, right,
No,
Jay?
that's false.
You're doing it.
nothing-
You're doing
You were
it.
doing it.
Nothing is better than seeing a cast member get with hit because they don't realize they're like walking. And I saw one of my cast members. She was walking. She had like the next like rotation list, and it nailed her in the face. And she was like, "Why?" And I'm all like, "I was controlling it." And guess like I knew it was controlled. And it's like, no. They were part of a parade, and there's no controlling. No cast member.
You can tell where it hits because there's
It's
big
a wet puddle
spot.
there. And it's so funny when it hits a guest every time because they're either on their phone or they got a stupid map in their face and they get so mad. They're like, "Oh, camel spit in my face." And I was like, "Well, you did watch a lot and they do spit, right?"
Yeah.
They don't think it's funny. There's an abandoned park in North Carolina. There's no Disney park in North Carolina.
No.
There was one planned for Virginia.
Yes.
Yes.
That never came to be because Euro Disney failed.
Yeah. It was supposed to be
Which
like
we talked about a little bit on with our
Texas one.
Texas one.
And that's
Yeah.
the other one that there's a Texas park, and they had like they did a study, like a suitability geographic study, and that's what you do when you're gonna put a McDonald's somewhere. You go like, well, where would where's the competition and who's gonna buy here, and is it close? Is it worth it? How much money are we gonna make it by putting it here as opposed to somewhere else? And Disney actually did something for that for Texas, but it didn't happen.
But now Universal, they're building
like a kid
yeah,
park.
a kid park.
And that's what Disney wanted. They wanted like a nice go-to place. It was basically like a pleasure island with a couple
Yeah.
rides there. And the last myth is Walt's last words were "Carousel," and it's unconfirmed.
Right.
There was the reason why was because it was like written on a piece of paper or something.
Something like that.
It's just so weird. Carousel is
And it was misspelled. It was like KIRT or something like that.
yeah.
Which
There's
he's,
nothing.
he's had a great history with the Disney company. Been in a lot of different roles, and
Walt really, when Walt likes you, he treats you like family, and Kurt only has good things to say about his time.
Yep.
I've never heard an interview when he does talk about Walt, he's like Father Walt. You know, he was always good to me, and he just shows appreciation. So that's all I've got for the urban legends.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much squashes. There's really, like, we talked about like stretching them out, but it was like there's just no research.
Yeah.
They're urban
Yeah.
legends.
We kind of already grabbed the meaty ones already, and so we just wanted to clean house so that this was off our minds.
It's off our minds, and it's also when you're in the queue now, when you're in the parks, that you hear some garbage people say.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna stay in your mind. You don't confront them. Don't fight them. Just in your
let it
mind,
be.
just let it be. It's part of just the fun. It's like snipe hunting,
Yeah.
for Boy Scouts.
Right.
You just let it be, and you just chuckle when you hear it, knowing that it's not real. It's not true. It's kind of like Peter when he goes to the train station and he does the like, wait, I know what they're saying with this. I know Morse code. Wait.
It's my favorite thing to do.
It's Peter's
Yes.
party trick,
It is.
And so, or you can just keep spreading the rumors. Come up with your own.
Ooh, that would be a fun. What Disney rumor would you want to spread? What myth?
Oh, I don't know. You caught me off guard.
I know.
I
It's
think that's a
something
good.
to think about.
I think
Yeah.
that's a good question for
Our listeners.
our listeners. So, give us your urban legend. What would you want
Yeah.
to spread
That would be good.
amongst the park? Yeah, and
Like
please.
Mickey's losing his house.
Oh,
Yeah.
His summer home.
that was my urban. No, that was my horrible marketing. my attempt to be funny, or the ghost story of like there's a ghost in the
Mickey's bathroom
Mickey's
downstairs.
bathroom.
Basement bathroom.
That's great. That's a good one.
That's just somebody who doesn't want to clean the bathroom. Like, nope, I'm scared. I don't do ghosts. Not my thing. Yeah, tell us your urban legend, ghost story, or something that to explain the unknown of what is there or why an attraction isn't open. Yes, please follow us on our social medias and reach out if you have any ideas or any kind of questions or any topics we want us to cover. We're open. We've done that before. And with that being said, Auf Wiedersehen.
Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the Matterhorn Yodelers. Please remember before your bobsled comes to a complete stop to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And remember,
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.